Hey everybody, it's Megan. I was asked after I posted my last protein bar recipe if I had any good fall protein bar recipes. And this is the recipe that I've used for 2 years now. It's a spin-off of a pumpkin spice indulge shake. I posted that recipe I think a couple of days ago when it came up in my memories. But I really love this pumpkin spice. I call it pumpkin spice protein bar, but the difference between this protein bar is because pumpkin is so wet, it is not going to be like a real bar. So this is what it looks like. I pulled a knife out and cut a piece so you can see. This is something that you're gonna have to eat with a knife and fork, or not really a knife and fork, a fork, and put it on a plate because it's sticky and it's wet. So there's a little bit of a difference. The other option with this is you could actually bake it. A very simple, I would bake it at 350 for about 10 minutes here in Utah. Depending on how much moisture is in the air, your elevation, things like that, you may need to bake it for longer than that, but I bake it for about 10 minutes because I like my stuff still moist and gooey. When I do cookies, I leave them gooey because I like it that way. But you know, I know a lot of people like them crunchy. So it's whatever your preference is. So do it for about, 10 minutes, pull it out, see if it's to where you like it. If you don't, put it back in for a couple more minutes. It's kind of the great thing about baking and cooking is it's a trial and error thing. You need to do it so that you like it. So let me go through this recipe real quick. So I used 4 cups of the Quaker oats. I used more oats this time because the pumpkin is so wet. I had to balance out that wetness, okay? I do not use the Rice Krispies in this recipe because pumpkin is so wet, it would make them completely soggy, and I don't like soggy Rice Krispies, so I leave those out, and I use more of the oatmeal. The other thing that you need to know about the oatmeal, because the pumpkin is wet, oatmeal will absorb moisture, and so it's not going to be a hard oatmeal. It's actually going to be a moister oatmeal, similar to like an oatmeal, that you eat out of a bowl versus the bars, the hard bars. So just be prepared for that as well. There's a few differences in this one. The next I have my protein shake. I use 5 scoops of protein shake in this recipe. I use a lot. Because there's 2 reasons. Number one, there's no other protein really in this recipe, so I have to make up for that. The other recipes have like peanut butter and things like that to balance out, and so I balance that out. The other thing is the protein shake actually will help with a moisture issue, and so that's why I use a lot of it rather than finding another moisture balancer. I use my pumpkin. I get the big cans. I don't know why. I just always get the big cans. It's a 29 ounce, and in one recipe, I use about half a can. That's how much I used in this recipe, and it made a square pan like that. So anyway, that's what that is. And then I always tell everybody to season to taste because everybody's taste buds are different. What I like might not be what you like. I used a pumpkin spice, nutmeg and cinnamon in this. I used up my entire bottle of nutmeg because there was just a little bit left and I had to actually throw it away before I filmed, so I'm sorry about that. But I love nutmeg. It's one of my favorite flavors, especially in the fall. And so that is in here, and make sure that you season to taste. I know that there's a lot of different pumpkin pie recipes out there. I do what's called pie night at my house the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and because of that, I've always had people bring their favorite pie. And it's kind of an open thing. I invite friends, family, neighbors, everything like that. And so I've had some really amazing pie recipes. I had a really great pumpkin pie with maple syrup in it, and it was to die for. So that would be another great option if you used 100% maple syrup. It's a great sugar or sweetener option, and that would be really great in here. And then it would just make it a little more liquid, so you'd need to balance that out with one of your dry ingredients so that it wasn't so dry. Or you could just bake it again and make it into a real bar. And you could even frost it, but that would kind of take away the healthy aspect of that. So whatever you want to do. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments and suggestions down below. If you have any protein bar recipes, I would love to hear them. I'm always open to trying new things, or if you've got any ideas on what I can make the next one out of. I don't know what I'm going to do for Christmas yet, so let me know what you guys do, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.